Well, it's February of 2024, and I'm in my permaculture garden in my backyard, and I'm going to walk you through all the different perennials I have that we've been putting in over the last 3 years. We have something like 65 planted 65 fruit trees and bushes and berry plants and vines over the last couple of years, and really excited for this next year. Expect a lot of growth. Over here I have a Williams Pride apple tree. We're actually going to be moving this over to the other side with a little more sun. I've got a Concord grapevine here growing really nice. Got some black-cap raspberries here coming up. I have strawberries as ground cover all throughout. I've got this really nice Chicago hardy fig tree, which I'll be pruning back really heavy this year. Had great growth last year, 70, 80 figs. I'll be pruning it back pretty hard. Had a lot of vertical growth. Want to take that back a bit. See here, I've got all these really big verticals. I'll probably be taking these back to about here, so we can get a little shorter, have it kind of spreading out a little bit more horizontally. Trunk's getting really thick, really strong, and really happy about the growth of that tree. I've got a pear tree here with 4 different varieties grafted on. Once again, this one also I've had a lot of vertical growth, which I was okay with for the first couple years. It does get some shade back here, so I just wanted it to get a little bit taller. So this year I'm going to be pruning these back probably to about 6 foot, so I can start developing laterals, and I might even get some fruit on some of these smaller side shoots, but we'll see. I don't expect fruit this year, but I am happy with how thick the trunk's getting, and that really was my focus with this one. I just wanted it to get strong. I have some, hard to see, but I have some gooseberries here and currants. They haven't really grown that well, so we'll see what happens with those. All along the back here, these are all grapevines here that have come all the way across. These I'm going to prune these back pretty heavily this year. Probably going to take them up across this pathway, this asphalt pathway, and then do spur pruning. I have here a Chardonnay that I put in last year that had really strong growth. So I'm going to get that trellised up too. I have here, I think this is a Cabernet Franc, which also had really nice strong growth. Got up really big. I found the Concords, the Cabernets, the Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnays have all been growing really nicely. I had a couple Merlot, they did not do too well. I have here a Liberty apple, 3 years old now, which haven't had any fruit on it yet, but it had really good vertical growth this year. I'm going to cut that back probably to about here. Trunk has gotten nice and big. I think I'll prune these side shoots back, these spurs back probably to about here, maybe about a foot off of these. And I don't think I'll get fruit on this tree this year, but I do expect really strong growth. These beds here I do for tomatoes. I trellis them up. Let's continue over here. I have this is a white wine grape variety. I can't remember the name of it. It's like Angevine or something like that. Haven't really had much fruit on it, but it did a ton of growth last year, which is what I wanted. Because I'm going to be building a pergola up over my asphalt pathway here. So I wanted just to get growth, get big, and then I should get fruit this year. I have a good amount of spurs from last year, so I do expect to get fruit on that. This bed, I think this year I'll probably be doing peppers in this bed this year. I have my winter, this is my winter garden, and here it's going really nice. It's been undercover all winter. I've got Japanese radish, daikon radish, kale, I've got some lettuces, lots of garlic, some mustard, so that's looking really nice. I probably have 2, 3, maybe 60 garlics going in there. And then this bed, last year I did tomatoes. I think this year this bed will probably I'll probably do cucumbers in it this year. I've got another grapevine over here. Grew really nice last year. This is another Cabernet Franc. I've got 2 different shoots going up. I think I'll probably keep both of them. I'll have one go that way along the fence, and I'll have this one go that way, and I'll spur prune it. I've got a potted fig tree here. This is going to go in my front yard. This I grew from a neighbor's cutting. Let's go look, and I've got strawberry ground cover everywhere here. I've got strawberry ground cover there. This is my asparagus patch. This will be my 3rd year, so I expect a good amount of asparagus. Really strong growth last year. I had ferns, 6 foot high, that went for all the way till November. So it even went to seed, so I expect really good growth this year. I have some beds over here with garlic in them. So let's start down here. I've got wild blackberry kind of all throughout here. I have this is a Hughes crab apple that I put in last year. Didn't really grow much, but it just kind of established itself. I expect pretty good growth this year. I'll be pruning this back, all these back. Looking forward to that. This is a 2-year-old Williams Pride apple. This one hasn't done as well as I liked. I didn't really prune it that much last year. I think I'm gonna take off some of these branches, and then I'm gonna trim the top probably to about here. I need to get some more lateral growth out of it. I think part of the problem is I have all these blackberries here on both sides of it. I had more on this side. I took them out. I think they're just taking too much of the water and nutrients away from it, so I'll probably cut a lot of those out. They grow like weeds and they're hard to access. I have another Hughes crab apple right here. This one's had really strong growth. Haven't really done a great job with pruning. I've got 2 verticals going up. I'm gonna get a pole, tie it to it, tie this back. I'm gonna cut this one off, and then I'm gonna, like I've got these big side branches, I'm gonna cut these back significantly. And like this giant side branch, I'm just gonna cut it back. I've got a small Chardonnay grapevine in here. Really didn't do too well last year. We'll see if it survived. I've got my Pakistani mulberry, which is just absolutely a beast. Haven't had fruit on it yet. I'm gonna prune it back heavy this year. I've got the right structure I want on this tree. And I've got lots of side branches. I'm gonna cut them all back, probably about 1 foot. And I should be getting fruit this year on this tree. I guess this is my raspberry patch. I've cut a lot of them back. I'll cut pretty much the rest of these back this year. So I expect pretty good raspberries this year. I've got a 2-year-old Sauvignon Blanc here that's gotten pretty big. This is one that I'm also going to be trellising this one across. Here's a Sauvignon Blanc that I trellised across last year. I should be getting some fruit on this one this year. I've got another mulberry here. This is a Illinois ever bearing. I got to do a lot of pruning on this one this year. Do a lot of heavy pruning. Now I'll take you over. I've got some more potted figs here. I'll take you over to see my peach tree. I got a service berry in there. I have some thornless blackberries. This was a Bradford pear that I cut down the tree and it grew a side shoot, and I cut it back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to graft an apple tree cutting. When I prune my apple trees, I'm going to graft the cutting onto this. This was a black Arkansas apple tree that I bought from Home Depot. Big mistake. I'll probably be taking that out. It has not done well. And I have this beautiful peach tree here that I put in last year, growing really, really nicely. I did not prune it probably the way I should have when I put it in. I just wanted to give it growth. So what I'm probably gonna do this year is I think I'm gonna get some fruit on it. I already have swelling buds. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it flower. I'm gonna see what fruit develops, and then I'll prune it based on that. See if I maybe get a couple. I'm definitely going to cut down these side branches here. I'm probably going to I'll keep this as a main branch. I'm going to keep this as a main branch. And then I'll probably keep this one here. And then I'm just going to cut out the rest of these. But I think I want to see if I get something out of it this year. At least I'll let it flower and then I'll prune it, which is not ideal, but I'm going to do it. I've cleared this whole area out. I'm going to be basically creating another kind of line of orchards, another orchard line here. That's the main veggie garden. Planning to buy 2 more pear trees, and then I'm going to move that apple, the one apple over here. I've got another mulberry here. This is my Wellington, which is looking really nice. I kind of want to keep this one short, more bushy. And then I have another Illinois everbearing over here. With the plan for this one is I want this one to get really big, so I've kind of let it grow because I wanted eventually to shade out the kids' playground. And I've got my blackcap raspberry patch right over here, which grew a lot last year. Didn't get any fruit, but I'm feeling optimistic about this year. And that's my permaculture garden.